Hey, what's up everyone? We're back with another Sonic video. I'll just be playing Generations in the background to make it more interesting, but I'm going to talk about how to fix the Sonic stories because the last two mainline games, in my opinion, have not had great stories. So let's just go straight into the things I think are wrong with the stories. I reckon the villains are a big problem. Like, the Deadly Six and Infinite are just too off. I mean, they're the only two I really just. The Deadly Six more specifically, because I reckon Infinite could have been good, but the Deadly Six really just, I really hate them. Like, I can't describe my distaste for them. It's just, I really don't like the Deadly Six. They don't even look like they belong in a Sonic game. At least Infinite looks like he belongs in the Sonic universe. But you look at the Deadly Six and you're like, whoa, who brought these Mario guys into a Sonic game? So I won't even be talking about the Deadly Six because, like, I'm pretty sure everyone hates them and everyone already knows that they don't even belong in the Sonic universe. So we'll talk about Infinite and why he doesn't make a good villain. Infinite doesn't have a good backstory. He's not fleshed out. His reasoning for being evil is just because Shadow beat him up and he got upset, which is, you know, pretty piss poor of an excuse to be evil just because you got beat up by one guy. I mean, it can make sense in some instances, but for the plot of Forces, it just doesn't make sense. And I mean, there are also other there are comics. I forgot who made them. Whoa. I'm gonna take a minute to realize what the F just happened on my screen. Alright, cool, let's go back to the discussion. Infinite is not threatening, he is not compelling, and he is not interesting. And if your characters aren't interesting, then no one cares about them. That's why no one cares about Infinite. That's why no one wants him back, because no one cares about what happened to him. Same with the Deadly Six, but for some reason Sega just wants to keep throwing Zavik everywhere. And I hate it, because I hate Zavik and the Deadly Six. But I also think that they limit themselves with the stories they make. Like, for example, they had Lost World on the Lost Hex, which I think is a terrible idea because it limits the places you can go in gameplay. Like, it's so just the Lost Hex is so stock standard. It's got like your basic desert place. You got like the place. You got everything basic. You got your lava, water, grass. It's all just basic level stuff, and that's why I don't like the Lost Hex. It's just a bad place for like level design, in my opinion. Like, if you want to make a good story to coincide with your gameplay, you have to make the world you travel in interesting. That's why I think Unleashed is such a great game, because the world you travel makes sense in the gameplay, and that's why it's so fun. And I just realized my controller is broken. What? Look at this. The thing just came off. I was just playing and then it just... Man, that's rough. I have to buy a new controller now. Man, that's not... Oh, man, that's annoying. Damn it. This is like one of those stupid jokes where it's like, we interrupt this program to show you broken controller. Oh, well, I guess I know what I'm doing later this weekend. But anyway, back to this... No, don't quit. Continue. Yeah, what was I on about before my controller broke? Oh yeah, so you have to make the locations in your game service the gameplay. So like, for example, Unleashed, you go around the world, which is it's a sick idea in general, because then you get a bunch of different locations to make gameplay off of, and then you get cool ideas for, whoa, I just went under the box. Yeah, it gives you a bunch of ideas for like level design, levels in general, and a bunch of different like gameplay ideas. Because like, I reckon if you're running around in a city, you should be able to run on buildings. That would be a cool idea that they could explore. But for example, in Forces, they just had a bunch of the same levels over and over again, which is why the plot suffers for it in terms of gameplay. Like, they have to make the story service the gameplay as well. The best example I can think of, well, I already said Unleashed. Colors was also good, but I'll use another game as an example. I know a lot of people probably haven't played Xenoblade, but that game has a in the story, the character of Shulk can see the future, and in gameplay, what's it called? It warns you about incoming attacks that could do major damage, which is kind of what the future vision is. And like, for example, you can kind of have that. You can kind of have the story relate to gameplay. Like if you, for example, if you have one character say they're going to go to this place, we should be able to play what they do in that place. In Forces, there was just a bunch of text bubbles. Like, I remember this one level in Forces where you're in. I think you play as the custom hero, and you're just running through like the Metropolis zone, and then you hear all the other characters' perspectives, and they sound much cooler than what you're doing. And it's like, why can't we play as them? Why couldn't we play as the other characters? That's also another issue. Other characters in the story. Like, it can make so much sense to play as like Tails or Knuckles, but just because I don't know why they don't. There's been a problem with different playable characters, and they can make sense in the story because why wouldn't it? Like at least Tails, you should be at least to be like, why can't you play as Tails? It makes sense. He's Sonic's right hand man. You should be able to play as Tails. Even Knuckles, they should always be playable, those two, but it is what it is. What else is there? I mean, villains. I should probably talk about how they can fix these issues. For the villains thing, all they have to do is make villains that are compelling and interesting. Eggman is a pretty good example. Even, well, Shadow is a great example. Like, he has a good backstory. You know why he's doing everything because of what's it called? Was of his backstory with Gun and the Space Colony arc and Maria and all that. Even Chaos because the Knuckles clan and like the Master Emerald stuff. Like Chaos is pretty good. Even Metal Sonic is possibly the best because Metal Sonic truly believes that he is the true Sonic, and then every time he loses to Sonic, that's kind of like it's kind of good. It's good character development, I reckon, because it makes sense for them to fight in the story. And then Eggman is Eggman. You kind of just have to have Eggman because he's the main villain. In terms of gameplay, you just have to make sure you make a setting that makes sense with gameplay and is also interesting. Like, I don't think that's that hard. I can probably come up with an example right now. Like, you could be chasing Eggman in a mine with, like, crystals, and you can use those as, like, swings to get across and move faster. Like, boom, I just thought of an idea that makes sense if you want to use the chase idea. Like, it's not that hard. It's just in terms of execution, you can't mess up. Hey, I got an achievement, Walk on Water. That's cool. Didn't even know that was a thing. Like, there are so many like possible ways they could fix the stuff. I know a lot of people also have like they say that Sonic is too fast, but I say he's not fast enough in the games. Like, yeah, I think they should have fully 3D levels, but I think they shouldn't be like fully open. I mean, it's hard to explain how they should do it because there are so many different things that so many different fans want. Like, I reckon they should do 3D, but they shouldn't have they shouldn't have the thing so big because then it'll be hard for them to make the levels. Oh my god, I made that. Oh my god. Like, they just have to make sure that the story they make makes sense in gameplay, and then they can make interesting locations and levels based on the story. I'm pretty sure that's... I'm not sure if other games do that, but it'll make sense if you do it the way I said it, maybe. I mean, I don't have the answers, I'm just some kid on YouTube, but I feel like I thought of something that makes sense. I thought I wasn't going to make that jump. Phasing through platform. Oh, what? I can walk on that? Whoa, that was interesting right there. Bro, that's some new speedrun tech. If you're ever gonna die, just run on that and you'll live. That's interesting. Just found some new crazy thing. So to sum up, all they got to do is make interesting villains, make sure they don't F themselves up with the story and gameplay, make sure they coincide with each other and they make sense. And I feel like, I mean, they can kind of put, you can put Sonic wherever you want him. He's a very flexible character. Sonic just kind of fits anywhere you put him. Like, he can go in space. That's why they did it with the secret rings in like Black Knight. He just fits anywhere you put him. Like, Sonic is such an easy to mold character in any story, and that's why he works so well. Like, you can put him in space, you can put him like underground, you can, like, it just makes sense. You can put him anywhere. He's a very flexible character, and that's why I feel like all the missed opportunities with the Sonic stories can be fixed by adding like more compelling villains, make sure the story makes sense in setting and gameplay, and just, you know, like having different playable characters will also service the story, and gameplay it'll just make the game more, I wouldn't say memorable, I feel like people nowadays, or like specifically people who play a lot of games or different types of games, like Sonic's very well known, but if you want to make a game stick out and get critically acclaimed and make it sell more, you got to do something different. And I feel like Sonic is already very different. He moves very fast. He's fast paced, and you can go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. That itself is very unique, and I feel like Sega should use it more to its full potential in terms of story and gameplay. Like, this story wasn't really, this video wasn't really about gameplay, but I kind of went on about how the story can service the gameplay, which is true. That's something they also need to fix. But I got a good feeling that Sega kind of knows what they're doing now. But comment down below if you also think the villains have been pretty lackluster recently. If you also think that they should do different locations to service gameplay, which will make sense for story as well. There's just a bunch of different things they could do. But I'll end it there. I kind of rambled. Hopefully everything I said made sense. If not, then just another random video on YouTube. So peace out. See you later. Make sure you like and subscribe and watch some other content. So see you later.